Kelly. Thank you for coming to check out my video. This is my first one. If you would like to see how I created this orange kind of copper gold smoky eye, then please keep on watching. And if you do like what you see, then like, subscribe so we can build a big family. So keep watching if you're interested. Thanks. Okay, well, let's get into it then. I'm going to pull my hair back just so that I can get all the way into the face. So what I'm going to start out with is a damp beauty blender. That's just my preference. You can also use a flat kabuki brush, but beauty blenders never let me down. So I am going to start off with a mixture of the Estee Lauder Double Wear and the Infallible Pro Coverage in shade 103. And I don't like having a super matte base, so what I do is I add some of the Becca backlight filter into it to kind of give your skin that glow. I already prepped my face with the MAC Prep and Prime, but I am going to use some Professional just in my T-zones to fill in any wrinkles, any pores, anything like that. Okay, now that we are done, our face is all prepped and ready for foundation. So what I like to do is I like to put probably about a dime size amount onto the back of my hand. So that's going to be the main mixture of what, it's going to be on my face. We're just going to add a small amount of the Infallible and then a pump and a half of the Becca backlight filter. Next, I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm sure anybody who watches YouTube videos knows that this is the best. Absolutely, without a doubt. I'm in the shade Light Sand. And I love how it has a big doe foot applicator. It's just easy to, you don't have to use as much. So and blend it in again. Alright, once that's all blended out and good to go, you are going to want to use the contour stick. So I like to use cream, so I love this. It's the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick by Benefit. It is super easy to blend out. It comes out just like so. What I like to do is where the bottom of your cheekbones are, I'm going to kind of just draw it in like so on both sides. You can do the duck face too. And I'm going to go around my hairline. I love the look of like a bronzed helmet. Some people, you can use it actually for making the forehead appear to look smaller and having that natural shade of kind of to make it look natural and not so much as like a harsh line. Some days I'll do a really harsh, contour, but if you just do this, it makes it really easy and very natural. And then I go underneath my jaw, like so. And laylately, I don't know why, but I've been putting a little bit underneath my lips so that it kind of looks like there's a shadow. And you look like, you have a bigger lips, which going down the center of my nose. And this doesn't have to be super precise because we are going to be blending it out. Just make sure that it's in the area that you want it to be.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
Okay, now that I look like I'm painting on my face, next we are going to blend it out. And what I like to start out with is I really like a foundation brush. This is the BH Cosmetics 136 brush. It's slanted, but it's still a kabuki brush. And what I like to do is I like to take the slanted point of it and start blending out the contour. And then once I've blended everything, then I'll go in again with my damp beauty blender and just make sure that there are no harsh lines and just kind of perfect it. So I'm going to go in very, very, very light circular motions, kind of back and forth motions, and blend, starting always from the hairline. Alright, and then I'm going to take a smaller, this is kind of a flat eyeshadow brush. It is the BH Cosmetics from 41. What I like about it is that you can get right in those lines so that you want to make it really precise. You don't want to blend it out too far, because the closer the two lines are, the smaller, I guess, your nose is going to look. More pinched. I like to just blend those out, and then I kind of just rub the excess back on my hand. You want to just make sure that you don't have any creasing, because we are going to then set the face. Alright, so I personally, my two favorites are the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder and the Derma Blend. I've noticed that the Derma Blend is more of a, it kind of leaves the highlight brighter than the Laura, so today I'm going to use the Derma Blend, and what I'm going to do is just take my beauty blender and dab it in like so, pinch the edges, even dab. Alright, and then we're just going to kind of let that sit. I'm actually going to make it a little bit stronger down the sides just to clean up any mistakes that we had. Okay, so I got this little sample in one of my Ipsy Glam bags. It's a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer. If you have this, you know how good it is. It smells like chocolate. Made with real cocoa, so it's amazing. It's a matte bronzer, like I said. It's just great. And I'm going to also be using a dual fiber brush. This is a Sigma F50. And I'm going to lightly go into the product, tab the excess off, and just set the contour. Set everywhere that we did the cream contouring. I'm going to go kind of right over the parts that I contoured on my nose just while the powder's still sitting there, just for a light wash. Alright, then we are going to go in with our bronzer. I like to contour before I bronze, if I do contour at all, so I'm going to use another dual fiber brush. And this is the BH Cosmetics number 9. I actually, if you haven't heard of BH Cosmetics, they're amazing. It's a really low price brand that makes really good brushes. The Carly Bible palette actually is made by BH Cosmetics, which is really cool. I think their brushes are like no more than $10 a piece, and they do amazing deals, amazing brushes. So if you haven't ever heard of them, you should definitely check them out. But I am going to use my MAC Give Me Sun. It is a very orange bronzer, so you need to be very careful with it, but I kind of just like to warm the face up just a tiny bit more, kind of all over. I'm going to wipe off the bake around the nose, if there's any left over on the eyes. Okay, next step, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight. I'm going to start off with taking some of my MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to slightly spray it all over my face to set the face makeup that we have done. Stuff smells so good. And then I'm going to go in with my brand new baby. This is the Nicole Guerrero by Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighting palette. Y'all. Yeah, I know. So, I kind of mix in between what kind of brushes I like to use, but for today I am going to go in with the Morphe E60 fan brush, and I'm going to use the shade Glow Getter first, tops of my cheekbones. Above my eyebrows. And then I like to do a little bit right in the center of my forehead, just to kind of bring it life again on my chin. Okay, and now we are going to do the blush. So I got, this is an Ofra blush. It doesn't have the name on it. Woo! Almost dropped it. It's kind of this, it's a darker blush. I always like the darker blushes. They tend to go and they mix in with my bronzer a lot easier. So I am going to take the Lexi 514 blush brush, and I'm going to get that, dab the excess off. Want to be in the video? Say hi! Alright guys, well I just went and did one eye off camera, as you can see. So I am going to do this one step by step with you guys to get this really sultry orangey red with gold, kind of crazy looking eye. It looks really hard, but I promise you it's not, and I'll try to explain it as easy as I can for you guys, okay? Alright, so let's get started. So first off, what I am going to use throughout this is I'm going to be using the Saharan palette by Juvia's Place. It has these beautiful colors in it like so. I'm going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter stack. And also I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. You do not have to use these palettes as long as you have some kind of color that looks similar. I mean, you can even swap the colors out, take the glitter out, you know. It doesn't have to be this bold, but as long as you take something from this, then that's all I want. So, let's get started. Okay, I am going to first open the Juvia's palette, and I am going to, first of all, take my MAC 224, my baby. And I'm going to start out with the Shadow Katsina. It's going to be this one right here. And I'm going to apply a light layer of this as my transition color. And I'm using a very light hand to do this, keep in mind, because we don't want the color to be too intense. We just want a light wash so that all of the other colors and the darker ones that we put down over it will blend in. It'll just make it look so much better. Just like that. So next off, I am going to use the color Jamila. It's going to be this one right here. And throughout it, I'm gonna use some of this, and then I'm also going to be using a little bit of Sokoto. Just kind of mix them together to create a personal color. So I'm going to start out with Jamila, and I'm gonna keep this more all over, just kind of like the transition color, and the darker that I go, the lower it's going to be and the more it's going to stay into the crease. So this is kind of just going to be this out part of it here. Just going to blend. So all of the darker colors that we put underneath it are going to just kind of blend right into it. I'm going to add a tiny bit of the Sokoto. It's a really bright orange. These, if you've never heard of the Juvia's Place, they are amazing. They are so pigmented and so buttery. Okay, I'm just going to show you this really, really fast. Swatch on the back of my hand. I've been swatching it, but look. Yeah, I know, right? Look at that. So, that's why I'm using it. Once that is all set down and blended out perfectly, then we are going to go on starting with darker colors. So I'm going to put this palette up for now, and I am going to dip into my Modern Renaissance palette. Now, the colors that I'm mainly going to use in this is the Red Ochre and a little bit of the Love Letter and Venetian Red, to kind of just blend it to make it my own custom color. And so for that, I am actually going to be using the Sigma E25 blending brush. It's a flat blending brush, so I can get really tight into the crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the Red Ochre, tap off the excess, and blend. So I puff if you can here. I'm going to blend right into the crease, slowly building up that color that we want. And it doesn't matter if it's not completely blended right now. What we're doing right now is we're just placing the color where we want it to be. So, and I'm also going to kind of start bringing it in this way. And give it somewhat of a weaned out effect. So. Now I'm going to go back in with my MAC 224, big fluffy blending brush, and just blend it to where they are really cohesive together. To blend a whole bunch. Alright, like that one's down. We're going to close that palette, and then we're going to go to the Melt Dark Matter palette. I really like this one because it has the blur, which it's, you know, you can use it as transition color, or you can put it over the shadows and it'll actually blur any harsh lines, which is really amazing. But right now we are actually going to use Enigma, which is this really deep plum color, which I absolutely love so much. And we are going to take the Morphe E28 brush and just tip the very end of it in, tap the very end of it in there, and go on that same place where we did the red ochre. Now that that's all blended and looking nice, now this is going to be the scary part, but we can do this together, y'all. We can do this. So I'm going to need to find the brush that I just had that now I can't find. Where is it? Here it is. So it is the Morphe V79 brush. It's a blending brush, but it's really tightly, the bristles are really tightly compacted, so it's going to give you more pigment. So it's going to be kind of just going to be placing the color where we want it. And we're going to want this to go very softly. Right. The outer V and then into the crease slightly. I kind of like dab it sometimes. And then go back in with my MAC 224. Alright, and then I am going to actually go back into the Enigma color from the Melt Cosmetics. Again, on my Sigma E 52 blending brush. I'm just going to kind of intensify this. Bring this color very gently into the corner. And again, take my MAC 224 brush, and I'm actually going to take Unseen, which is this really, it's like a mustardy brownish kind of border. Not really good at explaining colors, but that's okay. And just get a little bit of that on my brush and just blend all of that together. Okay, like so. Alright, now for the fun part, I want to go back into the Saharan palette, and I'm going to pick up Bororo right there, and I'm going to apply that with a Sephora Precision Shadow brush. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some Fix Plus on it, and then I'm going to apply that all over the lid, but not going, I'm going to stop it right here, and I'm going to have them blend together. But anyways, back to what I was saying about me. I've always been into makeup, and I've loved YouTube, and I just figured, you know, I've learned a lot of tricks throughout the years, and why not build a family with you guys and start something great, you know? I just think that being able to do what you love is rare. A lot of people don't get to do that. And that's kind of what I want for my life, is to be able to do something that I love, which I love makeup. I love being, you know, showing expression through art and music, and I just don't see any other way of why I wouldn't do it. So anyways, I'm going to add a little bit of the Singal, saying it right. It's this really beautiful gold color, just to lighten it up, and just put a light layer of that all over it. It's gonna kind of turn it into like a rose goldish color. And then I am going to grab my MAC 224, and again that unseen color, and just start to blend all of that together, just to kind of make sure that they didn't go over. So, and then I'm going to take the Sigma P25 blending brush one more time with the Enigma, just to make sure that everything is all blended together. It's not just a harsh line. Okay, and then last but not least, I am going to add just a tiny bit of the dark matter in there. Just one last little time, just a tiny bit, because this stuff is so pigmented. So pigmented. If you haven't already noticed, every step that I do with my eyeshadows, I always go in and blend afterwards with a big fluffy blending brush. So just a little trick up my sleeve. Next, what I like to do now that that is done, I didn't have any sticky tape, so when I don't have sticky tape, I tend to use like a translucent compact powder or a banana powder, and I'll put some on a beauty blender. I just clean that line up and brighten underneath the eye, because if you have such a dark eye color, you're not going to want to leave your under eyes looking, it almost makes it look darker than it really is. So you want to make sure to really brighten up that area. Then I am going to go into the highlighting palette, the Nicole Guerrero palette, and I'm going to take a little baby MAC detailing brush, and I am going to take the Forever Lit, which is like the white color, and I'm going to pack that on my inner corner to make it all pop. Now that that's done, almost done. So now I am going to take the Heavy Metals glitter liner from Urban Decay. This one is in Midnight Cowboy. It's a really beautiful gold glitter, and it has kind of like a little pointed brush at the end, so you can make really precise lines with it. What I'm going to do is I am going to basically just feel where my socket of my eye meets my skull and kind of just draw it right into that place. So I'm going to start from the inner corner, and I'm going to go above in the middle, so actually inside my crease, right where your eyeball is in your face, basically. If there's any other way of describing that, I don't know. And I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go slowly till about right there, because I'm going to be putting liquid liner over it. So, and also you're going to have to go back a couple coats with this just to make it opaque. You don't want all that hard work to be for nothing. So, make it bold. Okay, so while that is drying, I'm actually going to keep looking down because it will transfer. So while that is drying, I am going to grab my liquid liner and start that. And this is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in Intense Black. It is the best eyeliner ever. And I'm going to color in, make that line. I'm gonna bring out a line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up my eyeshadow a little bit to where it's kind of like it's a guide. So I'm gonna follow along where my eyeshadow should be, and make a small line. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start from the top and just pull it down. Just like that. So you're gonna have that, and then you're gonna wanna just color it in and, you know, make it thicker in any spots that it needs to be thicker or thinner or evened out. And now I am going to start with lashes. So the ones that I'm actually wearing right now are the Scarlet Lashes by Huda Beauty. Which look like this. They are in Scarlet number 8. I've trimmed them already to match the size of my eye. These have a really thick band, so you want to make sure that you're trimming them and that they're flexible enough that they will fit your eye. I'm going to use my duo glue, and I am going to put some glue on the lash band and apply these babies. Now that that is done, hopefully our lashes are going to be dry by now. I'm gonna pray that they're dry. All right, now we are going to, I kind of just want it to sit on there for a minute and let it dry before I actually clamp down the lashes, you know, into my real ones. So I'm gonna just give that, you know, couple seconds to dry. Okay, while that is drying, I am actually going to start the lower lash line. So I don't remember when I got these or what. I know that they're the Eco tools, but I have 2 of these, and I actually have had these for so long, never used them for the longest time, and here, you know, about a year ago, I found that they are the perfect under eye eyeshadow brushes. So you start it and you pack the color on, and then this little thing smudges it out, which is perfect. So I am going to go into the Saharan palette, and I'm going to take that Katsina, the brown color right there, and I am going to take the fluffy side. After that, then I am going to take the Jamila color and a little bit of the Sokoto. Don't kill me if I'm saying that wrong. So I'm going to start with the Jamila color. And use the packing side of the brush and just lightly run the brush along the lash line. Give it to a little bit of that brighter orange. And then what I'm also going to do is, because sometimes if you have like a red eyeshadow or orange eyeshadow, it can tend to almost make you look sickly, which nobody wants. So I am going to take the Morphe Y19 brush. So I'm going to take the Unseen out of the Melt Cosmetics stack, and I'm going to add a little bit of this on my brush and blend all of that in. I am actually going to take, it's a little different, but I'm going to take this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in the shade Wired, and I am actually going to put this in my waterline. Okay, now once that is done, I am going to take just a tiny bit of the Tarte Fake Awake. It is a tan or kind of like a nude eyeliner, and I'm going to just put it right in the inner corners just to close off that part of the eye. Okay, so that is it for the eyes. We are all done. We are almost there. We are going to start on lips now. So I am going to go in with Oak Lip Liner from MAC and outline my lips. I'm actually going to then fill them in with the Color Pop pencil in BFF2. It's just a little bit creamier. And what this is going to do is make it sure that if your lipstick or liquid lipstick starts to come off during the day, you kind of have like a backup underneath. Alright, and then after that, then I am going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Strip, and I am going to give it a little shake. Apply. And then last but not least, I'm going to take a little bit of the liquid lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills in Milkshake. It's a really light nude kind of color. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dot it in the middle and blend it out with my finger. And last but not least, then I am going to set everything in place with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray.
I guess everybody needs somebody to love. You can't keep love lonely.